How long before it was announced did you hear? Did Christian
Where
call you
was I?
directly, or was it
No,
more of a
Jerry
text message
actually called me
situation?
directly. Jerry WhatsApp me
In
in
the
the
group
spice.
chat?
I'm in the Spice Girls
You're in the
group
spice chat,
chat.
yeah.
You don't want to know how
SG.
I got there. There's only about 12 of us.
That
It's,
said, if it if anyone calls me Emma ever, just go with it.
EB. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Hmm.
Yeah. I genuinely, I think I was at work, and so I think I was in like an important meeting, and then I came out of it to messages on my phone and Slack messages because just recently, a post went out at work, like employees and their interests, hobbies, whatever. And I obviously said, "Oh, I have this Formula One podcast," so it became known within the company. So people message me now, and it's like, "Oh my god, did you see this race?" Or they when we're in the we're at the water cooler, Rod, and people are like, "Oh, let's talk about Formula." It's lovely, it's great. So when the Christian Horner news happened, I had like messages from people at work and messages in my own life. I was like, and it's funny because no one says, like, whenever news like this happens, no one actually says the thing. They just say, "Oh my god, Christian Horner," and you go, "What? He's been? Is he
Big
dead?
news. You must be
Yeah, big
happy. Like
news."
what?
You know, what is it? He sent me a birthday present. What is the big news? So yeah, and then of course I messaged our group chat with the only Formula One journalists we're really close with that we could be like, "Do you know anything?" And he was like, "Not really." Surprised all of us too. So that was my experience of it. I can't say I was immediately happy because I don't really know what it means. I don't like to see Red Bull all over the shop, but I immediately, I'm sure, like you, tried to work out why the timing was the timing that it was and what made it happen. So what's your read? Where were you when the news fell?
Sort of similar to you. I remember checking
Mm.
threads and just being like, Horner! And I was like, Horner
Oh
what? Horner
no!
what? And this was like not even on my F1 account, on like my normal account. I was like, well, it
Oh
must be big
no!
news.
On Maine.
And then you sort of, yeah, then you catch up. And I think it also happened at a weird time where,
Mm.
I don't know, it seemed like there were ripples of people realizing. Like, I feel like I was pretty quick into it. And an hour later, people were like, oh my God, breaking news. And then 12 hours later, people were still like, whoa, big news from the F1 world. It was like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, this broke
No,
12
it's been
hours
out for
ago.
ages. Yeah.
It's hard to understand
Mm.
whether there was a specific race result or whatever that caused it. But I mean, if you read between the lines, all the rumors were about Max Verstappen signing at Mercedes.
Mm.
It sounded like they had the race.
He's
It
on
sounded like they
private
had a meeting
jets
to
with
negotiate
Toto.
something. He was meeting up in wherever that was, in
Mm.
Spain or wherever. Toto's jet flies in, and then Verstappen's jet flies in at the same place at the same time. My immediate reaction was probably like, okay, to keep Max happy and to convince him to stay, they have gotten rid of Warner. Like that was one
Mm.
of his conditions because it's not, he doesn't, like, apparently he has this exit clause in his contract for Stappen that if he falls below a certain degree, he can leave. So obviously he was negotiating, thinking, well, if that happens, what am I going to do? What do I want to do? And if
Hmm.
I'm going to do it, I need to have the plan and an agreement and somewhere to go. So he had
Yep.
to do all that
Exactly.
work to get that all lined up. And then obviously Red Bull were like, we are going to shut that shit right down. So
Mm.
my assumption was they said to him, we'll give you whatever you want. Please stay. And he said, I want Horner gone. And they went done.
Why do you think he wants Horner gone though? Like, why is that key to, like, what does that unlock for him?
There's a
Do you
lot
think?
of rumors about lots of things. One of them being that Horner was the reason why other key people left, Adrian Newey, other key engineers, and
Yeah.
so on. And
Yeah.
also that Horner had just been setting himself up for a big power play. So it seemed like there was just a bit of a power vacuum created at Red Bull, and it was between Marco and Horner and whoever else.
And Joss
And
probably.
well, Joss and Marco seem to lock in together, which is
Mm.
interesting in its own right. But I think that he wanted a future where I think Max wanted a future where he would stay in control of things. But
Mm.
I mean, he also made comments along the lines of like Horner was dictating the direction that we should go aerodynamically. He was putting himself in charge of the engine manufacturing that's going to be happening and all the rest down the line. He
Yeah.
was really setting himself to call all the shots, and nothing would
Mm.
get done in the team without Horner agreeing. And I just think he didn't like that. And
Yeah, because it's Max's
that's
team in his mind.
that's right. And if you fall foul of Horner, then I mean, the things like they're already foul of Horner. Like for over a year, they've been saying we've got to get rid of this guy. So
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
for loads of
like,
different reasons, right?
well, let's just try and mend those bridges. Like those bridges were torn down a long
Mm,
time ago.
yeah, it's weird because then it's essentially Max just pushing the issue, right? Being like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go meet Toad. I'm essentially pulling the ripcord on this and putting the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit, and that will force people's hands. But he couldn't have known that there would be like paparazzi shots that get out of him meeting. So like, unless he does know that, like that's what I
He
mean.
could have
Like,
set it up, man.
yeah, but I mean he's busy trying to run a Formula One career too. Like
Yeah, well, he has a
that's
million
a
people
level
working
of
for him.
planning. Yeah. That's true. That's true. It might just be coincidence, the timing of kind of all of
It could be,
that, and maybe it
it
just
could be
made sense
like
coming
I mean,
into
look at
out of
like
this little break.
it could be like the Daniel Ricciardo thing. Like if we're gonna do it, let's just friggin' do it. Why wait till the end of the year? Why?
Yeah,
Why wait until
yeah,
the end of the year? Why not do it now?
yeah. Exactly. And they probably already. It sounds like they already had the plan in place. I'd read a good. I think it was. I can never remember his first name. Benson at the BBC. Was it? Is it Mark
Andrew
Benson?
Benson.
No, Andrew Benson. Thank you so much. I always forget his name.
You're very
His
welcome.
first name. I just call him Benzo. Benson.
Andy.
I think it was he had a BBC. I think he had a piece around some timings of also some possible
Hmm.
the ownership structure of Red Bull
Hmm.
slightly changing recently, and that possibly meaning that meant some changes to how decisions were made about Red Bull could change,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that made moving Horner on a little easier from a board perspective. Yeah, a little easier to get some votes done and through, or make some decisions more quickly. So yeah, it's probably all 1,000 things at once that make the timing happen, and maybe no one specific thing.
Yeah. So
But
a couple of. I mean, sorry,
yeah,
go finish.
I was going to ask you a question, but I'm
Oh,
not
go
the
ahead.
host, so you ask the question.
Oh, please. A couple of weird things that happened. Obviously, Christian Horner. It was announced Christian Horner was leaving, but also like the head of marketing communications and the head of this and the head of that, and they were apparently all
Mm,
people that were locked in with Horner.
mm,
And whether they said if Horner goes, we go, or whether it was just a clearinghouse, you're all gone.
yeah,
To just get out of here, everybody. Maybe that
yeah,
was part of it. That, like again, that might if demands were made, and that's been denied. But if demands were made
mm,
or conditions were put down, it could have been a clear house sort of situation. The other thing that I saw, which was interesting, I thought, was what's he gonna do? Where's he gonna go? The FIA has been floated, moving to Alpine or some other team has also been floated, and I think
mm,
people like Martin Brundle have said wherever he goes, he will go to another team where he can buy in, get a stake of the team, and whatever he builds, he will sort of co-own, a little bit like Toto Wolff does. And I saw tweets along the lines of, "Yeah, it's crazy that Christian Horner worked somewhere for 20 years and he didn't have any stake in the company." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, that's
it is
every
kind of weird
job. It's
that
it's got.
yeah.
I mean, I know communism when I see it, man. That's like
Mm.
welcome to the revolution, comrade.
It's also Red Bull's not a normal team.
It's
Like
true.
they are a marketing company. Like they are not a racing team. They are a drinks manufacturer who
Yes,
does this for marketing. This is just
they're a
marketing
drinks
for them.
works company.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. They supply the drinks for all the other teams. That's what they do,
Yes,
and then they
that's right.
buy everything from everyone else. And they had some very lucrative partnerships, and they had some of the best like Formula One people ever. And now they don't have some of the best Formula One people
Yeah.
ever, except probably one of the best drivers ever. So what happens now? If they've been leaking talent this whole time, they've been leaking talent because the car is a dog, and only the best driver of a generation, and probably of our. It's getting to the point now where you're kind of like, if Max Verstappen keeps winning races, like, is he the best driver going around right now? I think he probably is the best. I mean, there's no doubt actually anymore. I think he is the best driver in Formula One. Um, but what else does Red Bull have now? They've got Helmut Marko, yay. they've got Jos Verstappen, yay. And they've got some good people. There's no doubt about it. But the people who made them super successful aren't there. So is it a full reset? And is a full reset with a new engine, a new engine supplier next year, new engine setup, whole new formula, probably a new number 2 driver, most likely as well. Would Max Verstappen go through a couple of like rebuilding years for Red Bull as they get better and attract talent? And you can't
I,
say that Christian Horner didn't play a role in their success, because they were successful while he was leading the team for like 20 years. So there's, like the guy or not, think he's, uh, misogynistic dickhead, maybe accused. I'm not saying that could be someone's point of view, not mine.
This is what I've heard other people say. I mean,
this is what I'm hearing other people say. Not quoting anyone directly, but he's either good, like one quoted, Ronnie Gordon. Is he part of their success and part of the reason for success? Yes. Do they have the right people to make their Formula One team great again? I don't know. I don't think there's any. They're relatively unproven otherwise. They've been good on the back of Max Verstappen with a mediocre car. What do you think? Do you reckon they'll recover quickly?
No. I mean, the question will be how much of what they have now can they hang on to for the next couple of years? And I mean, the main thing that I've heard is that what Max Verstappen will do is just hang around for a year or two to just see where everybody else is at, so that he can pick where he's going to go.
Because if he can pick the next winner
sense.
and then ride and drive there for 10 years, because he's still pretty young, he could go somewhere good and win 5 more championships at, like, if Mercedes get their act together, or is it McLaren continuing, something like Aston Martin finally sorted out, and Alonso does want to go, and Adrian Newey's there, and they've got all the Saudi.
Hamilton's tying up a seat at Ferrari, but he can't stay there forever. So
don't go to Ferrari if you want to win the world championship.
Well, I know, but I mean, they might come real good.
No, of course.
What I'm saying is he's going to sit back and see who comes good.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll be able to take talent with him, right? Wherever he goes, the great people will go to be part of the Max Verstappen train.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe he thought it was like people don't want to come to Red Bull because they know that Christian Horner and some of the other people are crap. Maybe it'll be easier now for them to get good people and build a better team because Horner's gone and it needs fresh blood and for things to be done differently. Maybe it will happen that way, but I don't know. Where's Horner going to go? Where's he going to land? Because I thought he could just go to somewhere like Aston Martin.
Well,
but they don't want him, probably.
I think, again, it depends on what the inside word is on why he left. Because if he left because he wants to control everything, I'm not sure that Lawrence Stroll will tolerate it because he wants to control everything.
No.
Or at least have a say.
I've heard that Lance wants to control everything, which is crazy.
Well, he wants to control his car a bit more. That would be good.
Ooh, take that, Lance. Shots fired.
I just think that him and Lawrence, I'm not sure they can get on the same page necessarily.
No. Okay. So you said Alpine. Why Alpine?
There's a few
had a
reasons.
great relationship with Renault.
He can build something there. That's true. He can build something there. He's shown that he's the guy that can build something. But also, like, someone said that it's because they're based like near where he already is based. He doesn't have to go to Italy. He doesn't have to go to Switzerland. I don't know how much of a problem that stuff is, but I mean, someone floated that as a potential.
I mean, it comes up in other sports that people just like, they move to another team in the same city.
And someone was pointing out in the pre-show, like, this guy, Lawrence Mecki, is now running Red Bull, but he's not going to move from where he lives to the home base for Red Bull. And same thing happened at Racing Bulls now. The head guy, Racing Bulls, doesn't live there, but he's not going to move. I don't know. You can work
it's a silly sport,
these days, and
it's a silly sport. People do funny things in this sport. It's a really silly sport.
Well, thanks for the invite, but